And welcome to another session of Love is Patient. Thank you for joining me on this last Saturday of 2020. I don't know about you, but 2020 has been quite a challenge, and I'll be glad to see it go. It is the last Saturday of the year, and we are going to be talking about downtime. Downtime. What does that mean to you? What does downtime mean to you? It's a concept that is very important. Everybody should have some downtime, some time to relax and to rejuvenate, to replenish yourself from your activities, your regular routines and activities, your regular daily things that you have to do, work activities, what you have to do at home. It's a time to rejuvenate and to replenish and certainly to reorganize after you have been out of the house, here and there, meeting the needs of others that are in your life, as well as meeting your expectations at your place of employment, maybe in school. You need to take some time and reorganize, take some time and plan some new routines. Maybe there's something else that you need to work on. Your home. Got to pay attention to your home, and along with the mindset in your home, your look. Think about something that new that you may want to explore and try. Maybe some new glasses, maybe some a new hairstyle, a little different. A lot of men experiment with their beards. A lot of women experiment with their hair. Maybe you want to do just something, just a little new for the new year. So think about that, and make the next necessary preparations to get your mindset together for your new year, your home together, and your look. Think about your relationship goals. What are some things that you want to discard? You want to pack away. We talked about this concept a few weeks ago, packing some things away when you go into a new season. Those things that are not going to benefit you for the new season, you want to pack those things away. You will not be able to use them. And so think about your love relationship and some things that you want to get rid of because of this new season that you're going into. It's a new year, it's a new start. We talked about restarting and relaunching. So think about those things that you want to put away, those things you don't want to do this year that you may have taken part in the previous year. And let's unpack some other things that we may need for this new season. Your new way of thinking, maybe some new activities that you want to do with your spouse or your loved one, your daughter, your friends group. You might want to do some new things. You may have some goals that you want to share with them so that you can collaborate and work on together. So let's unpack some new things for this year. Some old habits that you might want to put away and introduce into your regular routine some new habits that are going to benefit you and help you to be more productive. I want to talk a little bit about downtime as it relates to some past jobs I've had. I am in the field of education now, but many, many moons ago, I was in the field of engineering, and I did work in the manufacturing setting in engineering, and downtime in the manufacturing setting has some different meanings and some different connotations. But I think that while we're talking about these connotations and these different meanings of downtime, we might be able to extract some ideas that may help us in our love relationship. So come with me, bear with me as I take a walk down memory lane and remember what it was to work at Nabisco, to work at Pepperidge Farm, and to work at AEG, which is a transportation company back in Pittsburgh. So as I walk down memory lane, I remember what downtime meant as we were in that manufacturing setting. It is a break from normal production or activity. Most of my work had to do with productivity on a line, on a manufacturing line, on a production line. So when we shut down and when we had our downtime, it was for a specific reason, because anytime that line goes down, that means you're not producing product and you're losing money. So you better have a valid reason for shutting down. That's just like within our love relationships. We're not privy to a lot of time to shut down and to have downtime. And when we do, we got to make that time work. So one reason for a shutdown in the manufacturing setting is it's scheduled. It's scheduled for vacation. Sometimes it's scheduled for cleaning or maintenance. And how do we relate that to love being patient? Well, let's do some planning together in our relationships. Whatever relationship you're in, do some planning together. In your workspace or your living space or the place that you meet up, make sure it is managed. Make sure it is a clean environment, a non-toxic environment. All right, so we're not just talking about cleaning in terms of making sure everything is tidy, but let's make sure our relationships are non-toxic. We need to stay away from those toxic conversations. My God, those, when it starts to, you can feel it. When it starts to get toxic, I think we ought to stop, check ourselves, and make sure we clean up these areas and maintain some good discussions and some healthy discussions. Okay, so in our love relationships, alongside of doing some planning, let's make sure our conversation is clean and productive. All right, in our downtime, sometimes we take some time out to clean it up and to maintain these healthy relationships. All right, so that's number one. Number two is sometimes on a production line, you may get some contamination in the product, something that is not supposed to be in the product. I remember working on a product line at Nabisco, and oftentimes we would have metal detectors, and sure enough, there would be metal in the product. So we have to shut that line down sometimes when it was, when you couldn't catch it. You have to shut that line down and make sure that no product going out the door has been contaminated. All right. So what do we say about that in our love relationships? My God, you have to check your relationship. Check your relationship. Throw out some of those stale thoughts and routines. Something that's not working, throw it out. Let's not do it anymore. And sometimes it takes some downtime to really think about, wow, how are we operating? How are we doing things? How are the activities and the way that we're discussing things, is that productive? If not, stale thoughts, unproductive routines, throw them out. Set some things straight in your relationships. Some things that you may not like, some things that feel kind of funny to you and that maybe rub you the wrong way. Let's communicate about it. Let's communicate about it. And we don't have to communicate in a raunchy or nasty way. We could just set some time aside, this downtime, set some time aside and Speak to your loved one about some things that may not be healthy from your viewpoint. So, the contamination piece is important. There is a need for shutdown if some things in your relationship become contaminated. All right, revisit some areas that need to be tweaked. All right, so maybe it's not a rough area, but just talk about some things that might help your relationship in the new year. All right, so that is how we will handle a shutdown due to contamination. All right, so that's number two. Number three is a seasonal shutdown where the production is low and it is not cost effective to actually run the line anymore. All right, so sometimes we have those low seasons. We have those seasons where something has transpired or something has happened in one of, in your life or the life of the person of your loved one. And sometimes it is necessary. Close shop, shut down, check on your spouse, check on your sister, check on your loved one, and just see what is going on in this low season. Sometimes it takes you to set aside some time, and that can mean the world to the person. Set aside some time and say, hey, I see you. I see you. I see what's going on in your life. And sometimes it just takes letting somebody know that you may not understand everything that's going on in their situation, but you are there for them. Sometimes that's all it takes. They need to know that they're there for you. So, whatever the reason for the shutdown, we've mentioned a couple things, some things to think about and consider. Whatever the reason for the shutdown, use this time to prepare for your launch for next year. Let's get excited. This year has been something different. It has been a mixed bag. It's, some good things have come out of the quarantine and the pandemic, and some really horrific and bad things have come out as well. So we have a mixed bag of experiences that we can draw from and think about that relaunch for 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the relaunch. All right. Launching this year, this ministry was born. Love is Patient was born. So that was something that good that came out of it. The wives chat, I've been doing that. And, some things I had to set aside. There were some things that I had to prioritize in my life, and some things didn't get off the ground. But here, as I'm thinking about 2021, I'm excited about the relaunch. We just have to work with what we have and set our plans in motion, get our plans in place, ready, set, go. Get ready and get set and just go. All right. So I just want to talk just a little bit about some old school advice, traditions. Some people may call them superstitions about ending the new year and ending the present year and going into the new year. But they make a lot of sense. I mean, I was trained, everything has to be clean before the clock strikes 12. I mean, your hair needs to be washed and done. Your nails need to be done. Your house needs to be clean from the top to the bottom. No clothes. You're not leaving any dirty clothes in the house going into the new year. So some things are old school, but they make a lot of sense. All the floors have to be mopped and vacuumed, corners cleaned, baseboards done, mirrors wiped, everything. If you skip some things during your regular chore time. This is the time that you get it done, because you don't want to go into the new year with things undone. Family gatherings are very important. That's something that I learned about, and family gatherings and traditions are amazingly important. I learned that from my mother-in-law. Every New Year's Day, she would have a traditional family dinner. Everybody would come over at a certain time, and she cooked certain things every year. Every year we had black eyed peas. Every year we had cornbread, neck bones, and pig feet. Some green, probably greens. There were some greens there too. And a lot of these traditions, just every year, like clockwork, you know that all roads led to her house, and that we were going to gather as a family, and it wouldn't be a New Year's Day that did not go by without these items. We had to have these items. You could add to it, but you couldn't subtract from the list. So that, I think that family traditions are very important. It gives you something to look forward to, and it's a really good thing. All right. So all of these things that I mentioned are good habits. You know, just groom yourself well. Make sure your living spaces are clean. Make sure all of your clothes are washed and set for the new year. Set yourself up for the new year. Your plans for the new year. Your work week. Everyone wants to start their year out fresh and clean in their work environment. Make sure that area is clean. And a lot of people are working from home these days, so maybe you can add a little spark to your workspace. Maybe you're going to add a little something to your meetings that you have on Zoom. Everybody's Zooming it nowadays. So let's think about some things that maybe we want to tweak and add to our meetings. One last thing I want to mention, and that is a habit that I have gotten away from, but what I used to do a long time ago is take 3 days. That's really when I was single. I would take 3 days out and fast and pray, and ask the Lord, well, what should we do? What are some things that should have my attention for the new year? And this was a very important time for me, just to take 3 days out. And, you know, that's a downtime moment. Take 3 days out of my schedule at the end of the year, asking God, what are some things that I need to draw my attention to? What are some things that I need to change? What are some things that I need to look for or look forward to? Some relationships that I need to tweak. All right, so it's always good to go to the Lord in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. So it is important. If you can't take 3 days out, take a couple hours out just before the year ends, and seek God about what you need to do for the new year. All right. Some people are apt to fast, and others are more apt to do a cleanse. So you can Google that. There are so many different types of cleanses that you can do, colon cleanses and natural cleanses, and these are some things that just clean out your system. So not only do you want a new look, not only do you think about your outer appearance, but you also have to think about your health and cleaning out your system. I know I mentioned that wonderful family dinner, but you know, before we get to that point, maybe we should take a cleanse and just turn our hearts towards health. All right, so that is such an important consideration. So I hope that you enjoy just our little talk about downtime. our little talk about just maybe exploring some times where it is necessary to shut down. It is necessary to have some time to restart and recharge and rejuvenate, all right? To reorganize, to relax, all right? So, and regulate some of your plans and routines. So I hope that you take into consideration some of the tips that I have here. We just want to pray that the Lord will guide you, that the Lord will direct your every step this year. We pray that we can leave all of the bad things. We talked about that mixed bag. We can leave all of the distasteful things that happened in 2020. Leave it where it is. Maybe we're praying that we can grow from these things and leave the old stuff behind, the stale things, the things that were non-productive. We're praying that we can leave those things behind and relaunch into year 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm excited and I'm believing God for great things in 2021. Have a blessed day, and we pray that the Lord keep you, bless you and keep you at the end of this year, and bless you with a new understanding and with a wonderful restart for 2021. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.